Does this have tea in it?
Okay. Recording?
Yeah.
Hey. Okay.
Hey. Okay.
Okay.
Yay.
Wait, it's making noise.
Stop that. What are we talking about today, Cinder?
Okay. This was literally
Prom 2. No, impromptu.
As opposed to prom, this was impromptu.
Yes. It's because earlier Cinder was like getting all in her nighttime yap session vibes. And then I was like, stop. Let's record.
He was like, wait, like before you finish that thought, should we turn on the mic?
What were we talking about?
We literally had just put our stuff down. We just got home.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, who are you chatting? Who are you catching up with earlier today? And I was like, we were talking about our recruiting experiences. And then, oh my gosh, these thoughts about recruiting experiences. And so that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
And we're going to do some live processing, I think.
Yeah, because we have looked for jobs.
Yeah, we have.
And we have looked. I have looked.
Yeah.
For jobs.
Yeah. But we've had slightly different recruiting experiences.
Yeah. I feel like we had pretty different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can just talk through how we felt like recruiting was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how toxic it can be. I hope and wish that we can talk about it more openly. I feel grateful that I feel like amongst our friends, we've been able to, and because we were recruiting at a similar time, we could process with each other too. But from processing with other people who are recruiting now or have done recruiting in other seasons, it can be such an isolating, depressing time.
Yeah, because no one really talks about the bad parts of it. Yeah. When you're down in the dumps and getting rejected, and I feel like everyone only really gives updates on
the stats.
Oh, I got this, or I got an interview, or I passed this, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like in the shadows are hundreds of rejections.
Oh my gosh.
At least for some of us.
Yeah. And in the shadows, in the trenches is when you need to feel like someone's got your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel like we had very parallel experiences looking for, or switching jobs. Parallel meaning it happened at the same time.
Yeah.
But from my perspective, it seemed really different. I don't know if from your perspective you felt that
the experiences. Yeah. And I think part of it was because of what motivated us to start looking in the first place was pretty different.
Yeah, true.
So
context was we both started our jobs in the summer of 2022.
Mm-hmm. What the market was a lot better than it is now. No! Water.
Anyway, we got our jobs, started the summer of 2022. That was when we moved to New York City.
Yep.
The greatest city in the world. And then, after that, we worked at our jobs for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I'll talk about why I was thinking about leaving, and then you talk about. I think at that time, I was okay, I think consulting is not necessarily for me. I'm not built for it, I think. And so I was okay, I think I'm going to start trying to make a move.
Mm.
Or at least the difference that I'm trying to highlight between the two of our experiences, I guess, was because I didn't feel like consulting was for me, I was okay, I need to make a pivot.
Yeah.
Which I feel like pivoting also, that's also another thing, is going from consulting and then exiting and doing something else.
Yeah, and figuring out what experience you can speak to in interviews, what was transferable for you.
Yeah. From consulting to that to a new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for me, there was just a little bit more urgency in finding a job.
Yeah, I think for me, at that point, I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay in this role and in tech. At that point, I was a year out of the rotational program, and so was getting some sense of what it was like to be on this product marketing track. And I was I could see a world where I go down this road. But also I knew at least that specific context wasn't where I felt 100% aligned. And I wasn't sure if that was like a passion misalignment or like an industry thing or something else entirely that, honestly, I'm still trying to figure it out. But
yeah, yeah, true. Because you ended up still switching into PMM.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then my thought was like, okay, I know right here, right now, I'm not feeling like this is not the end game. And so I more so started just putting out feelers to see what else was out there, maybe like shaking up some of the variables. And so,
what were the variables?
Yeah, like one was so maybe company size, maybe like product, and maybe like type of projects that I get to work on. And I think something that drew me to product marketing in the beginning was the like wide array of like types of projects you get to do. So I was like, maybe I look for a role where I get to explore more types of projects. And so, yeah, I was just like kind of putting feelers out there, but definitely less urgent. I wasn't by any means like uncomfortable. It was more so just explore kind of thing. Continue exploring. Yeah.
I honestly think that's the best time to start looking or like to like put feelers out there because that's when you're the most stable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you like you would have high standards for you to feel like this is like a good move for me.
That's true.
Obviously it's like sometimes you don't have the choice to like have a stable like situation.
Yeah, it's definitely a luxury to be in that spot.
I guess that's like speaking from my experience because I feel like I felt like I was in like an uncomfortable spot.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. I don't know if I articulated that correctly,
I
but
think, or just like amount of urgency and therefore like pressure on the recruiting process is different.
Yeah. Like I was also thinking about this. I was like, oh, like what if I had left my company and then full time looked for a job?
Oh yeah, you were considering.
Yeah. And I think in that case also like I would feel the same amount of urgency to or if not well, probably way more.
Yeah.
And we were paying for our apartment in New York. Like there's no way. Yeah. And I would feel like infinite pressure for me to find a job.
Totally.
And on the pressure point, like I feel like this is like a huge point for me when I was looking for a job is like with high pressure, it's so hard to perform in an interview because like
the stakes are higher.
The stakes are infinitely higher.
Each call. Yeah. And then it's so hard for emotions not to get involved or intertwined in those instances because you don't want to get your hopes up. Yeah. But also you don't want to like let yourself down, like let others down and
And also when I was looking for a job, I looked for a long time. And it was just because I was like getting discouraged or like get discouraged and then like stop doing it and then like would look a little bit again and then it was like never a consistent thing, I feel like. But I think because of that, like then your friends start like checking in on you. And then because they want to check in on you, and that's like a very kind thing that people want to check in on me.
Yeah.
But I felt so discouraged that I couldn't share like good news.
Yeah.
Also, this is like just my experience.
I think people relate.
I can go off on this, honestly. I remember there was this one time when like some of our friends stayed at our apartment and I had like an on-site in the morning. And I remember like I was like so nervous for the on-site and like they were staying over and they're like, good luck, Carrie, like yeah. And then the thing is like I was so scared also because like I knew they would ask me about it the next day.
When you came home or after it.
So it's like the accountability also is tough, dude.
And you don't want to be the Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
And like this might be like a micro culture, like a micro experience, but
this was what you were gonna say earlier when we stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard and felt. I've heard it said. Some people come into our lives for a reason. Okay. Bringing something we must learn. Okay. Anyway, what we're gonna learn today
is. Sorry, what were you saying? Do you still have this thought?
I
I've
know
interrupted you so many
okay,
times.
this is being like verbalized in real time.
Okay.
So we'll see how.
I've heard it said. Okay.
Pause.
Okay.
Sometimes we can feel like we are judged by our success at work.
Hmm. Or like it looms so large.
Yeah. Or like that's part of your identity.
Oh,
I was
so true.
Even just knowing like, oh, I haven't been promoted in this amount of time, and
true.
knowing that other people know that.
Oh, true.
Like you feel.
Oh, I got promoted on Friday.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Congratulations! What the freak, bro?
I forgot, yeah.
What the freak?
Yeah.
Congrats.
Oh, thanks.
What?
I forgot.
Wait, it's been a year.
Yeah.
That's like the fastest you can get promoted.
True.
That's really cool.
True.
Good work.
Thank you. 안녕하세요. arigato.
You really said hello to me.
True.
Hello. And you switched languages.
Yeah, I did. Wow. I'm trialing
You little. Okay. Wait, literally. Oh my gosh. I feel like that was kind of a perfect example.
What?
Like, I feel like I just perpetuated the culture. I was like, wow, look at you. You got promoted on the fastest possible track. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you're any longer than that, or if you surpass a certain amount of time, it's really easy to become self-conscious about that.
Yeah.
Like, you're aware that there are some people in our industry and probably at our age who are evaluating you on that.
Yeah.
Who are thinking, like, potentially, like, oh, are you less competent because you
Yeah.
haven't gotten promoted yet?
Yeah.
Or you haven't switched jobs yet, or like that recruiting is taking this long.
Yeah.
And it's crazy like how toxic that mindset is, because we also all know how much of recruiting is outside of our hands.
Yeah.
Like how seasonality is like such a big part of that, right?
Yeah.
And how much promotions are freaking outside of our hands because the corporate system is so political and there are games you have to play.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get luck of the draw and sometimes you get reorged 2 weeks before your performance review.
Yeah. True.
Like,
oh my gosh.
Oh,
true.
And like, oh my gosh, I'm like
triggered.
I'm like, yeah, I'm literally having PTSD right now to those freaking reorgs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to fight against like so many things, and then also just get lucky.
Yeah. It's yeah.
And so it
so
shouldn't
much
be,
of it is like so out of your hands.
Yeah.
Even though
And we
it
should acknowledge
feels
that.
yeah, true. But I do think it feels like everything is in your hands. Like because performance is so like I've seen it happen before where I work hard and my brain synapses also understand that working hard relates to like reward.
And I think that's what they want you to believe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But there's like so much more.
So much more.
It takes for you to get a job, for you to get promoted. Yeah. And like even if you did do like quality work that was great and impactful, if you don't
play the game.
If you don't play the game,
get visibility around
get visibility, like shout from the rooftops that
exactly,
you did this.
Exactly.
Like then yeah.
I think like my frustrations around like promotions and recruiting in the past has been like areas where I'm like, let's be honest, it didn't have that much impact. It just happened to be a project with a lot of maybe stakeholders or like high visibility.
Yeah.
Like that got celebrated instead. And I'm like, this is such a messed up system.
Yeah.
Like, it really does not encourage like having integrity to the company's best interest.
That also speaks to, and maybe this is a different podcast, but like the disillusionment now that we're slowly getting from corporate. Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe to like wrap that thought is like I feel like they tell us, the like big daddy corporate tells us that like when you get promoted, oh congratulations, like you have proven yourself. Like all of your hard work, all of your output led to this. But I'm becoming disillusioned. I'm like believing that less and less.
Yeah. And another thing to wrap that thought is like Like one of my friends, I feel like her perspective on her job and her work had like also affected me a lot. Where like I remember she gave me this scenario where her manager, or she's like very loved at work. Shout out. And her manager asked her to like step up to be a manager.
Yeah, yeah.
And she would get paid more, I think. And like be like it would be like a step up. It would be a promotion. And she was like, no, like I don't want this. She was like, I don't want to manage my friends who are her peers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
And like I remember that hitting me so hard. I think I was like maybe a senior in college or like maybe a freshman or not freshman, freshman in young adult life.
That's what it felt like.
That's what it felt like.
Noobs.
Noobs. Yeah, like my first year in young adult life, like I remember her telling me that and I was like, wait, what? Like why would you not take the reward? Or this is like what I remember from what she said was like, this is not necessarily like what I'm working towards.
Wow, yeah.
Did you know that?
Bro? Oh my gosh.
That shook me, bro.
Wow, to know what you're working towards rather than what they're imputing on you. Yes. Oh my god.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think that's also like has led to some of my or not disillusionment, but like reorienting of like
exactly.
Like how I view work and how I have put work on a pedestal for so much of my life. Yeah.
And other people's impressions of like your progress, because at the end of the day only you know what you want to progress towards.
True.
And oh man, I think I'm trying to learn that now.
Yeah.
3 years in, like what are my actual goals?
Yeah.
What do I want to build towards?
What do you want versus like what has the world like ingrained in your thought and like mind and everything that you should want?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I was gonna say one more thing on that. Was like, I remember when I would get like negative feedback at work, it used to crush me.
Oh, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like kill my mood for the day.
It would kill my mood for the day, and I also like took it so like taking it personally is a light statement. Like I think I was like, wow, this is like who I am.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And I suck. Yeah. And I remember, I feel like that also speaks to like how much I like put work on a pedestal. Like when we first started working was like,
it's so easy to though. Like they're your authorities and they have so much power over your like so-called progress and growth.
Yeah. But like growth in what? Like you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
success in what?
Yeah, you recalibrate like this. Like the company does not define.
Yeah.
What you define as success. So,
Yeah. Someone who has healthily challenged the notion of like judging someone based on their career progression was Serena. Shout out Serena, who like quit her Google job to work at a coffee shop because at that time she realized Google and corporate was not it for her. It didn't align with like what she wanted to do with her life. And coffee shop potentially was the next move, like starting her own small business. And so to jump somewhere else and like start working in the coffee industry was her version of making progress.
Yeah.
That was like
so different from what people normally would expect.
Yeah. And so like that example alone breaks down this like notion of any one person being able to judge someone else's progress.
Yeah.
You have no idea unless you get to know that person and get to know their goals.
Yeah.
And then like once you get to know Serena and her goals, you are celebrating with her that she made this move into coffee.
Yeah.
And like into the next steps that she's made like after that too. Even if it doesn't look like some kind of linear path. Or once you believe that each person should be building towards their goals, like we have no place to judge.
Yeah.
Like if someone is making progress or not. Progress is just so subjectively defined.
Yeah.
How do we like go about starting to break down that pedestal? Like, or maybe better start with like, where does that pedestal come from? And I feel like at least for me,
Yeah.
I feel surrounded by that culture to an extent
Yeah.
of idolizing career progression
Yeah.
and like the higher salary and the higher titles.
Oh, you know what other thing that I like extremely hate? Okay, not extremely hate. I just like abhor this with a passion. Like talking like at a party and like when you introduce yourself and you're like, hi, yeah, like I'm Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Hey, yeah. So what do you do for work?
Oh my gosh. I would love to tell you.
Yeah.
Never.
Oh, okay. You're a
Goodbye.
podcaster? You're a podcaster.
Wait. Tangent on that?
Okay.
This is all about tangents.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I entered like one of my like creative writing pieces into like a magazine thing.
Whoa.
They don't reject anyone. It's like a fellow 25, 26-year-olds who just kind of like compile this thing.
Oh.
Which is cute. And they asked for your bio, and they're like, the prompts for the bio was like how you would describe yourself and then your favorite after school activity, because the theme of the magazine, like the topic, was off for the afternoon.
Oh.
And they gave examples of like possible bios, and they were just the most fun thing, and nowhere in the bio said your full-time job.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was so cute. Like one person's, should I get it? Can I read it?
Yeah.
Okay, someone's bio as an example. This person is a writer, data person, and community event organizer based in New York. Her favorite after-school activities have always included a pint of chocolate milk and peach fruit cups.
Aww.
You can find her having fun on her Instagram.
Aw, that's really cute.
Isn't that so fun?
Yeah.
And you're just like, you get so much more of this person's personality. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoyed reading everyone's bios thoroughly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cute.
So, anyway, just if anything, like I'm encouraged to like break the mold of our identity
in
is
our accomplishments
defined.
And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Accomplishments, career progress, promotions, even your job title.
Yeah.
It's boring, bro.
It's boring, bro.
Oh my gosh. Let's break the habit of asking what you do for work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's like the freaking icebreaker of like all time, dude. So yeah, let's break that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah. That's all to say, maybe like the pedestal in part comes from the culture of like career-driven people.
Maybe just like
urban professionals.
Yeah, where we live. Like
young
like,
Asian professionals.
Plop us in friggin' Mason, Ohio, and like you think we're gonna be thinking about some
actually
things?
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, very valid. Yeah. So maybe it's in part of this culture.
Yeah. Also, I also think I don't know why I made that noise. The reason why work is so prevalent is because like from my youth, like everything, even though I was like in a mid-performing I was actually like the lowest high school probably in my school district. And like our school district was also like not that great compared to all the other school districts in San Diego. But even then, like our classrooms were like each hallway was named after a university. And like
that's great.
Wait, imagine as a kid, like you're like there's like so many other options other than university.
Yeah.
First, by the way. Yeah. And those kids, like we are all like ingrained in our minds at like 4 to 10 years old that like you have to go to university to be successful.
Yeah. Whoever was on like PTA back then or like made those like they wanted to plant those seeds early in your guys' brains.
Yeah.
That like this was the way to go.
Yeah.
I wonder how effective that like they should do some kind of longitudinal study on that.
So then shouting out my parents, I feel like counterculturally to Asian culture. I feel like they just like didn't put as much pressure on me. And like I remember asking my parents if I could switch schools, 8th grade, to the more academically rigorous Asian school.
Dang.
That was like the top high school in our city.
Oh wow. Yeah. Wait, and can you explain why you wanted to
Oh yeah.
switch?
It's probably for social reasons. That was like my ulterior motive was the social reasons.
Yeah.
To like make more Asian
Yeah.
friends.
No, because like
Fit in.
in high school, yeah, you just want to fit in.
Yeah. And in 8th grade, yeah, I was having some friend woes. I think in 8th grade. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I want to like be like, yeah, with people that I could relate to a little bit more. And then also I think I put pressure on myself to like perform academically also. And so I was like, oh, like mom and dad, like wouldn't this make so much sense?
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like researching. I remember so distinctly like the difference between like an intra district transfer and an inter district transfer.
Dang, wow.
Because I was trying to intra district, which is like switching out of my district.
Wow.
Yeah. To the better district.
That's
now
wild.
that I admitted that, like all the SD people that went to that school are going to like meme me for life. I know, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So I think, and I remember like my dad sitting me down and being like, oh, like I really don't think that this is a good move.
Uh-huh.
I remember him saying like, because like you would have more diversity and perspective if you went to this school, with people who had like come from much different, or like everyone, it's still like a predominantly white school, but there was also people who like, I think the city I grew up in, there was like it was very disparate in like social economic class, and just like a much wider range in race and background.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, so I think my parents value me getting that experience.
But that's, I feel like it's very countercultural or like uncommon that your Asian parents would prioritize that exposure for you over like academic rigor and competitiveness.
Yeah.
And if I can like validate your parents, I feel like when we met each other in college, I don't know if this was ever a distinct thought, but I knew that you weren't from like the Bay, from like the stereotypical like South Bay school where like kids were comparing grades and stuff. Like it was just very clear that you like didn't think that way.
What's crazy is that I never would have thought that you noticed that about me.
Yeah, interesting. No, yeah, but I think from me going to like high school and just like being in communities in the Bay Area, like you knew the kids who were evaluating you based on your grades and your extracurriculars and like how competitive you were to them in their minds, like how on the lookout they should be of you. Yeah, and I just feel like flavors of that transferred over to college. Yeah, but you just like didn't have any of that. Like I feel like is part of why Carol's like personableness and like feeling of like anyway, comfortability talking to you was like, it was just like very clear that you weren't comparing yourself or like comparing me in your mind or whatever.
I wonder if that's why we get along actually.
Oh.
Is because I feel like we both kind of like are like slightly alternative or like, are we slightly alternative?
Well, I want to shout out my mom because when we moved from Ohio to the Bay, she, I think, had heard about the like culture, maybe like the stereotypes of the competitiveness of South Bay, and she chose, like when we were searching for homes, to not look at any neighborhoods south of Palo Alto, which is like the South Bay area, because she didn't want us to be, like myself and my sister, to be surrounded by that culture. Like kids being pitted against each other and your extracurriculars and your accomplishments like
define you.
Yeah, defining who you were, which I think has contributed to in high school and college just my distaste towards those kinds of conversations. I'm just like, I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah. And I feel like because you have a distaste for it, like that aligns with like I think when I came in I didn't really care for it. Yeah. So we just maybe that's why.
Interesting. I mean, and I think like those were the spaces that allowed to be able to like confide in the highs and the lows. I know that if like I tell you a win at work, that's not something that like you're like comparing against, and like that you can like share like a promotion with me and and it's not like, oh, I'm bragging or anything. Like,
Yeah.
we know that. Like, there's, like, safety
Yeah.
in that.
Actually, you know what's crazy? Can I tell you a secret?
Other's sandwiches. Yes.
Can I tell you a secret?
Of course.
I remember, okay, back on the recruiting thing.
Yeah.
I remember when, or like I was like interviewing for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and like all
In
of our
college
friends
or
knew it. Like here,
Here. Okay.
like our switch from our first to second job.
Okay.
I was interviewing for a long time. I remember, this is like my perception of your experience, but I remember you like interviewing like twice, like 2 companies maybe. And then you got this job, and we quit our jobs on the same day, even though you hadn't really thought about quitting hard.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I definitely want to make the pivot. And then like we ended up quitting our jobs at the same time, even though I had started recruiting 9 months before you did. And then I remember being like, I feel like a past me would have been like, this is an unfair world. And like this, I feel like I could have held that against you low key.
Oh yeah.
Like not because of you.
No,
but
I
because
get that.
like because I was like so stressed for 9 months.
Yeah.
And
you worked your butt off.
Yeah. But for some reason I didn't. 1, I'm proud of myself. And 2, I think it's because like
well,
yeah, thank you. But I also think like 2, I feel like it was like also just a step towards like letting that success and being able to make it in those things like define who I am.
Yeah. Or has any reflection
Yeah.
over who you are and your competence.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't.
And I do think those 9 months were like pivotal for me.
Dang.
Like there's so many things that I had learned about endurance in like
I saw that too.
Yeah. And like finding something else to give me meaning.
Yeah, well.
Other than work. And I think if I didn't have those 9 months,
that's good.
like I would be a very different person.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think for that to not have affected our friendship.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I've like thought about that sometimes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Is that crazy?
Wait, but also too, for you to be able to acknowledge that those 9 months were not wasted by any means.
Yeah.
Like, those were pivotal in like your growth in the past year, or like in last year when that was happening.
Yeah.
It reminds me yet again how unrepresentative it is to like measure someone's quote unquote progress that is so subjectively defined by like certain outcomes or certain like markers in someone's career or like whatever we're measuring against. Like that would totally discount the 9 months of incredible experience and growth that you had in your personal and professional life.
Yeah.
Through the recruiting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And now, like, I can even deeper level relate to people
totally
who are like also like looking for jobs, and it's like really tough. Definitely not wasted time.
But I feel like that truth is hard to internalize. Because again, like that pedestaling of work and like success at work is not just something going on in our own heads, but is like being told to us. And so it's like having to learn to separate ourselves and like almost push back in a way, like against what other people are saying is success for you. We're not saying it's a bad thing to be proactive in looking for those opportunities and to be growing. Like if you want to be like a startup founder, like to start your own company, or if you want to be CEO, like go for that as long as that's your goal. Like that's coming from how you've defined success for yourself, not imputed by like other people. Not like chasing clout that is so like fleeting anyway.
Oh, but it wasn't about like I just had the biggest yawn. And I went
most aggressive.
I was trying to keep it in for the longest time. Oh my god, I'm crying.
Is this normal? Should I be concerned?
I was just like holding it for so long.
You were trying to talk faster to get over.
Oh my gosh, my stomach hurts.
Anyway,
I lost that thought. Okay, so our freaking camera died. Do.
Camera died.
Camera died.
Dun 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 dun. Camera died. Camera died. Camera died.
It is 1 a.m. and we're delirious now.
And this is when our best content comes out,
Yeah,
truly.
true.
This has been our training grounds for the past 5 years.
True.
Our 1 a.m. conversations, so.
True.
Do we feel like we both grew up with performance mindset? Like, that's very common in Asian culture, right?
Yeah, performance mindset. Well, I think that's just like ingrained. I think that's in our genes, bro. Like, I don't know if it's like...
Wait. My genes? These are old. These are from college.
I remember those pants from college. Do they have like flowers on them or something?
No, those are the other ones.
Oh.
But I do think the Asian, like, work hard to get places is very true.
Yeah. Yeah.
For my parents, like, their ticket out of their country was
work
by
hard, bruh.
Yeah, and like by getting higher education. And higher education.
Yeah.
And those would open opportunities.
Yeah.
So it was really like that was the tried and true path for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Working hard.
True.
So.
Yeah. Same.
What I feel frustrated at myself by, and then also like friends, is how I feel like sometimes we put our passions and interests on a back burner for the sake of taking the beaten path, the path that other people tell us leads to success. But that's success by either their definition or like our culture's definition.
To summarize, like, I feel like what we have been learning is if this is the life you want, like, do this.
Yeah.
But like, just because our environment has raised us and braised us in this way. I said braised because I was like thinking about my pork in the fridge.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, we were gonna have some home char today. Instead we had mashed potatoes.
I didn't have time to cook. Anyways.
No, the mac and cheese was good.
Right? Okay. It's from Whole Foods. Anyway, has braised us. I say that because you're like in a sauce and you're like being simmered and it's like infusing into
my gosh. Wait, that's such a good analogy.
My gosh, wait, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, what sauce do you want to be, like,
Did you choose your own sauce?
Do you choose your own sauce?
Or was your sauce
chosen for you?
And like, and like, wait, this is like, okay, it sounds funny, but this is like real.
Yeah.
Like, and if you haven't thought about like the sauce, aka like your definition of success and how you want to spend your time and your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't thought about that, then like who decided that for you? Like who are you gonna let decide your life? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, wait, I also want to acknowledge, like, I feel like my parents had an influence over my goals. But I think like that too goes back to my fundamental values of like, I care about making sure that my parents aren't worrying about me.
Yeah.
And that they're also gonna be well taken care of, you know?
Yeah.
And so like that influences the goals that I have in my career and my life as well.
Yeah. And I feel like coming out of college in the space of like being braised in this soy sauce, and then you're like getting taken out of the pot and being plated for the first time, and you're like being
dude, you're carrying this out. Oh, wait, yes.
You're like being taken around the restaurant, and you're like seeing the world for the first time.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, there's so much more.
Yeah.
And like the example that you gave about like oh yeah, like part of like working hard is also like being able to like, you know, honor your parents and take care of your parents. Like what, like that's
something in the world. That's one of the tables.
Yeah, that's one of the things in the restaurant that you never got to see when you were like being boiled in the pot.
Yeah, and you were just letting it all infuse into you. But we get to decide where we want to go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We get to decide where we want to go.
I mean, at least me.
Wait, we should put that on a t-shirt.
Or you just, I mean, I feel like people are not deciding for themselves.
Yeah.
They're letting the soy sauce decide.
True. You're letting the chef.
And who's the chef?
Culture.
Like, I honestly feel like we are blind to so much of how, like, the culture around us, whatever culture that is, like, how much that dictates our decisions and our goals.
Yeah.
Like, for me, when I was switching jobs, yeah, I think I was getting a lot of advice from like different sides because I was gonna go to a startup with a smaller name. There were some people that were on the side of like, oh, it's a lesser known name and it's like less stable. And then there were other people who were like, oh, growth um and I think a lot of making that decision was trying as much as possible to like dig up any like preconceived notions of like what the quote unquote right path was. So I think like continuing from then till now, I'm still trying to like sift through um and like uproot and like throw away um any like imputed definitions of success in the world. And I don't know, I just want to be able to know that like the decisions that I'm making for how I spend my life are from based on my own goals and values.
It's so crazy because like as you were summarizing that, I was saying how like my life in college was like the like slap in your face, like this is what matters, school and work. And then coming out of college in my first 2 years at my first company, and it was like work takes up 99% of my mental space, even when it's like not when it's not working hours. How I perform at work and people's perception of how well I am doing at my job defines everything that I am.
Yeah, especially as a new grad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was rough. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think to now, like, also when I was like asking or when I was thinking about like taking this also smaller company, smaller name job, and I was like, do I do this? And I felt like peace about it. I was like, oh, this is where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And I think that is now my next stage. I think the process of choosing this job was like shedding a little bit of the that stuff. And also I think what I was talking about earlier about like me comparing my searching for a job journey with yours, and like that was also the same inflection point.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think my current team, to shout out my team because I really love them.
Yeah. I love them for you, bro.
I know.
I know all of your names. I'm rooting for all of you.
Yeah. I think they have also taught me, or like I think we have like a very wide range of like what work is to us in the context of like greater life.
And it's so cool that you guys can share that with each other too. Just
true.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. But I think I've also, because they're also like all older than me, so like I've learned like from them like, oh, this is like what work is to me. Or to that person, and then this person like values work in a different way and like in a different magnitude in their life. And I think also like my manager has also like given that example to me as well. I remember like I was crashing out one day and I texted him and I was like, how does anyone make a living? Or I was like, how do I make a living? And then he was like, I think the better question is how do you make a life? And then I think when he's texted that to me at first, I was like, I don't really get this. Or like it seems like a you buy it at Marshall's type.
Yeah. With like some floral around it.
Yeah.
And then like little quotes.
Yeah. But then I was like, I actually think it like struck me because I think I don't know if this is what he was trying to tell me, but my woes were because I had put work so much on a pedestal that I'm like, crashing out
Yeah.
because of this microcosm of like work that I'm like stuck in.
Wow.
And then I think he was like trying to bring me out of that. And like there's so much more.
He's saying that there are more tables at the restaurant.
Yeah. That the braised pork should see.
Yeah. We are building our lives.
Yeah.
We're not just building a job.
True.
Like something that gives like fleeting status and
yeah.
So what are we building towards, man?
That is a question for our 20s to figure out.
Yeah. Is our moral of the story the dethroning of work, like away from this like number one like pedestal where it's unhealthily like
everything
like taking up too much hold over our identities to just a healthier place, like a more balanced place amongst other important meaningful things in our life.
So join us on our journey as we try to do that.
Yeah.
Figure out where work lies and put it in its rightful place in our life.
Maybe there we can find more freedom from releasing work of that kind of pressure and then enjoy it a little bit more.
Yeah. And then also I think like when things start to happen at work, it doesn't crush you.
Exactly.
And I think it has crushed me in the past.
Like one bad piece of feedback or one bad project. We can just hold it a little more loosely. Take it a little more lightly. We are not defined by our work.
We are not.
We're not defined by our success. And we define progress and growth
our own way.
Swag monies.
Swag. Oh, you.
Okay, cool.
Anyways, so
it's 1:45.
It's 1:45 and we've talked for like 2 hours.
Thanks for joining me, guys.
Thanks for joining us. We did not know this tangent could happen.
Yeah, when we came home tonight, this was not the plan.
No, this was not the plan was to sleep. But
typically this is what happens.
Yeah, true.
I feel like we processed a lot, like in real time.
Yeah.
So. Thanks for processing with us.
Thanks
ho,
for
ho, ho.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. What?
It's time to sleep.
It's time to sleep.
Oh
my gosh.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, Ann.